It's all over. Rhea Ripley hospitalized after injury. Damian Priest stays by her side. This week's WWE Raw opened with an unexpected and dramatic turn of events that left Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest grappling with serious injuries. The night began with high tension as Damian Priest took to the ring to address ongoing issues within the Judgment Day faction and their recent betrayals. However, the situation quickly escalated into chaos, culminating in a shocking attack that left both Ripley and Priest in critical condition. Priest's segment was intended to clear the air and address the faction's internal conflicts, particularly focusing on Finn Balor's recent actions and the perceived betrayals within the group. As Priest began to speak, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. However, things took a turn for the worse when Finn Balor made his entrance to confront Priest. What was initially a verbal exchange rapidly devolved into a physical altercation. Balor, seizing the opportunity to assert his dominance, was joined by the rest of the Judgment Day.
If you love your father, then subscribe the channel, and those who love me show your love by liking and subscribing.
Resulting in a brutal ambush on Priest. The once-charged confrontation quickly turned into a full-fledged assault, with Balor and his cohorts taking advantage of the numbers game to overwhelm Priest. Despite his efforts to defend himself, Priest was subjected to a vicious beatdown from his own faction members, leaving him battered and in a precarious state. The chaos reached its peak when Rhea Ripley, who had been struggling with an injury to her leg, rushed to the aid of her fellow Judgment Day member. Ripley, already compromised by her injury, was determined to assist Priest in the face of the faction's onslaught. Armed with a crutch, she attempted to fend off Balor and the others. Her intervention, however, proved futile against the overwhelming odds. The situation deteriorated further when Dominik Mysterio, another key member of the Judgment Day, forcibly took the crutch from Ripley. With the crutch now in his possession, Mysterio turned it against Ripley, attacking her already injured leg. The brutal assault left Ripley unable to stand, as the combined impact of the attack and her pre-existing injury took a severe toll. The violence did not stop there. Liv Morgan, seizing the opportunity to join the fray, directed her focus on Ripley's injured leg. Morgan's assault with the crutch exacerbated Ripley's suffering, further incapacitating the already vulnerable star. The relentless assault left Ripley and Priest in a dire state, both in need of immediate medical attention. As the episode of Raw came to a close, the severity of the injury sustained by Ripley and Priest was evident. Both superstars were rushed to a medical facility for treatment, highlighting the physical and emotional toll of the night's events. The aftermath of the ambush has left fans and fellow wrestlers concerned about the long-term impact on both Ripley and Priest's careers. The attack has sparked widespread speculation about the future of the Judgment Day faction. With internal strife reaching such a dramatic climax, questions loom over the stability of the group and the potential ramifications for its members. The faction's dynamics are now under intense scrutiny, with the possibility of further divisions or confrontations on the horizon. As WWE Raw moves forward, the repercussions of this dramatic night will undoubtedly reverberate through future storylines and rivalries. The fate of Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest remains uncertain, with their recovery and return to the ring eagerly anticipated by fans and peers alike. The events of this week have set the stage for an unpredictable and charged atmosphere in WWE, with the fallout from the ambush poised to shape the trajectory of both personal rivalries and faction politics in the weeks to come. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest's devastating attack on WWE Raw, a night of chaos and concern. This week's WWE Raw delivered a shocking turn of events that left fans and the WWE Universe in a state of disbelief. The night began with a high-stakes confrontation that quickly devolved into an all-out assault, leaving Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest severely injured and in need of immediate medical attention. The drama unfolded as Damian Priest took to the ring to address ongoing tensions within the Judgment Day faction. With Finn Balor making an entrance to challenge Priest's statements, what was intended to be a verbal confrontation rapidly spiraled into chaos. The situation escalated when Balor, accompanied by the rest of the Judgment Day, launched a brutal ambush on Priest. The attack was swift and merciless. Priest, caught off guard and outnumbered, found himself on the receiving end of a violent beatdown from Baylor and his allies. Despite his best efforts to defend himself, the numbers were overwhelming and the assault left him reeling. In a desperate bid to help her fellow Judgment Day member, Rhea Ripley, who was already struggling with an injury to her leg, rushed to the scene. Ripley, armed with a crutch, attempted to intervene and defend Priest from the brutal attack. However, her efforts were in vain as she too became a target of the assault. The situation took a dire turn when Dominic Mysterio forcibly seized the crutch from Ripley and began using it against her. The crutch, initially a weapon intended for defense, was turned against Ripley, exacerbating her existing leg injury. Despite her courageous attempt to fight back, the combined impact of the attack and her pre-existing condition left her unable to stand. As the assault continued, Liv Morgan joined the fray, further intensifying the situation. Morgan utilized the crutch to target Ripley's already injured leg, further compromising her condition. In the midst of the chaos, Damian Priest, determined to protect Ripley, shielded her with his own body. He took the brunt of the crutch strikes from Morgan, ensuring that Ripley endured as little additional damage as possible. The severity of the attack on both stars was soon evident. The announcers provided a concerning update during the broadcast, revealing that both Ripley and Priest had been rushed to a medical facility following the brutal ambush. While details regarding their injuries remained unclear, the situation was described as dire, with further examination needed to ascertain the full extent of their injuries. The assault's shocking impact was not the end of the story. The beaten and battered Ripley and Priest were eventually rescued by Jey Uso, who intervened to halt the ongoing violence. Uso's timely arrival helped to defuse the situation and provided much-needed relief for the injured superstars. As the episode concluded, the WWE Universe was left with many unanswered questions. The precise nature and severity of Ripley and Priest's injuries are still under evaluation, and fans are anxiously awaiting updates on their conditions. The night's events have raised concerns about the future of both stars and the potential ramifications for the Judgment Day faction. The dramatic events of Raw have set the stage for significant fallout in the coming weeks. With the faction's internal strife now at an all-time high and the health of key members uncertain, WWE fans can expect intense developments and possibly new rivalries emerging from this harrowing chapter. The incident has undoubtedly left a lasting impact, and the recovery and return of Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest will be closely watched by the wrestling world.